Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Piece of Insight. If you're new to my channel, this is where I talk about life situations, I talk about self-awareness, self-esteem, confidence, relationships, and so much more. And also I want to talk about what I've learned, not only being sick, but as far as the virus, what I've learned and how it kind of relates to life. If you guys have not subscribed already, please go ahead and subscribe. It lets me know that I'm doing something right and you guys enjoy the content. And if you guys like these videos, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. So, today's topic is going to be talking a little bit about how I thought I had the virus. I may have had it, I'm not sure. I wasn't tested. I was in the hospital and I had to really just take a break from work, doing videos, writing, and it's just terrible when you're sick and you literally just cannot do anything. Like your body just won't allow you to do anything. So just to start off, everything that has been going on with the coronavirus, it's just so heartbreaking to see so many people die, whether it's babies, nurses, doctors, people who are older, people who are younger, people who work in grocery stores, at the airports, just so many people and so many deaths. And I just really want to talk about how this virus has taught me just a lot about life in general, just how things can just get taken away from you in a split second. And being quarantined has made me think about a lot of different things. So, me being in the hospital, so I ended up getting just a sore throat one day, and then the next day my tonsils were completely swollen. I don't believe that it was related to the coronavirus. My doctor also believes that it was not related to it, although I did have a really bad fever. I have had tonsil problems in the past and it has affected me in the past many times. I do still have my tonsils, but the fever was just not normal. Whenever I get my tonsils swollen, I usually don't get a fever. So having my tonsils swell up to what it was, I couldn't eat, I had no energy, I could barely walk, and it was just terrible. I can only take in liquids. I was really cold and really hot, shivering at night because I was just in such a fever mode. So I ended up going to the hospital and that was very unfortunate. And it was just, there were so many sick people there. Some were related to the coronavirus, some were not. And I was in a lot of pain that day. I didn't eat, I'd only drank yogurt. And unfortunately, when I was in the hospital, I did not receive great care and they did not give me any medication when they discharged me. So the next day it got worse and my fever in the hospital was probably 102. So I was getting worse, and so I ended up texting my doctor through a doctor app, and she was able to send me medication and I'm feeling better. So and she doesn't think it was related to the virus at all, but being sick and being helpless is just the worst feeling in the world. And I know with the virus it ends up being a respiratory infection, so I didn't have any of those symptoms. I was shortness of breath just a little bit, but I think it's because I did not eat. So I'm back at it, trying to do videos for you guys and catch up on my blog. With this virus spreading like wildfire, there is so many different things that I've just thought about and learned, and you really can't take your health for granted. When I was in the hospital and even when I came home, you know, I couldn't eat, I couldn't do anything by myself, and it was just honestly one of the worst times I've been sick. And I do get sick a lot. People who know me, you know I'm always complaining about my immune system. My heart goes out to anyone who has been infected or lost someone to the virus, and it just makes you think that you can't take your health or your life for granted. There's so many different situations that we're reading about online with people, and it's just, it is really sad and it's very heartbreaking. And with this virus going on, it has made me think about, this is probably one of the only times that I can think of that everyone kind of knows what you're going through to a certain extent. You know, people are being quarantined, people are home from work, not everyone, but school for the kids or teenagers, college students. And when you go out to the grocery store, people know exactly what you're going through because they're going through the same thing. People at the grocery store, and maybe this is just me, I hope it's not, but people at the grocery store are actually nicer. Customers are nice to each other, and people at the grocery store, they know to a certain extent what you're going through, and you can just tell people are sad, and they have that sympathy with one another, and they understand. And it's never really been a time like that, and it's because this virus has infected each and every single person in one way or another. And so we get it. So what did this virus teach me? Well, being in quarantine, the only thing I can really do is think. So it's good for my writing. What it's taught me is that you can't take life for granted. You can't take your health for granted. You have one body. You're given one body, one brain, and you have to take care of it. You know, you have to take care of it, and you have to treat it like you have one body. And I feel like we fail to realize that sometimes. I know I definitely do. And my immune system has not been the best, and you know, being in the hospital, it made me realize I need to start eating better, and I need to start working out a little bit more, just so I can feel good, just so my body can feel good. So if you have really good health right now, after this virus is over, don't take it for granted. You know, for people who are healthy and they're not sick, they're not in the hospital, you're probably feeling really good right now, and you should. But even after this virus is done with, you need to keep in mind that you are healthy, and there's so many people in the world that are going through health problems because of this virus. It's really when you're sick or when things have been taken away from you, like me not being able to eat, me not being able to walk. I'm just like, oh my God, I really need to change my life, and I really need to make things happen. And whether you've been sick during this pandemic or you haven't, having things being taken away from you and being quarantined may have taught you something. Not to take certain things in your life for granted, whether it is work, you know, your job that, you know, just boggles your mind sometime and you're just having really bad days, but you have a job. And all those little things like being able to drink water or eat a sandwich without being in pain. You know, once things are taken away from us, that's when we realize how valuable it really was. So take care of yourself, eat better, work out when you can, have a good mental health stance. Your mental health, your well-being, and who you are is just so important. And I know being quarantined is probably driving people nuts, because even there's some days where I'm just like, I can't do this. But it's important that you take this time to really absorb the time that you've been given, and I am going to talk about that in a little bit. There's so many people who probably did not expect to get sick or even maybe pass away, so you know, you really can't take life for granted. There's going to be so many different times where, you know, there's bad situations that happen to us, but you are still alive and you're still here. It's so easy to take things for granted, so try appreciating the small things, whether it's food or just waking up or being able to go for a walk, being able to get fresh air, being able to be surrounded by family. I know that life gets so busy sometimes and we're not able to spend time with our family as much as we want to, and now we're kind of forced to, you know, be around our family. Maybe not all of us, but some of us, and you should really take that time and absorb those moments. You know, with all the bad that's going on, try and take some good out of it. Try spending time with your family if you have that opportunity, or if you live alone, or if you have roommates, do something for you. Do something with other people. You know, now is where interaction in our households is like this, you know, with the kids and their parents, and spending time with your family is of the essence. Sometimes we get so caught up in life and we forget that time goes by so fast because we're so busy with kids and nephews and nieces and work and our workload and our normal lifestyle, that time goes by so fast. So right now time is kind of paused and we feel it. You know, being quarantined, we truly really feel it. And that jumps into the next thing that I want to talk about: time. Time is not always on our side because it goes by way too quick. But now that time has been a gift for you, do something with it. Whatever it may be, do something with this time. Whether it's something that has just been in your head, whether it's painting or just dancing or working out or Zumba, you know, do it in a space in your house or apartment or wherever. Outside, if you're able to do it outside, do something with your time. Try to be active, and that could be writing, it could be so many different things. Do something that you've never tried before. You know, get creative. Do it with what you will, but do something. Don't let all this time pass and go by being quarantined and not doing something for yourself. Do something for yourself so you can feel productive, so you don't get anxiety or depressed being home. Do something besides being on social media or besides binge watching TV. Do something to get your mind to think outside the box. And the last thing that I want to talk about is this quarantine. We have been able to be stern with ourselves, to stay home, to not get sick, to limit ourselves to doing certain things. We think of self-love and how that's so difficult and how that can be difficult for many people. Being able to be stern with yourself, to stay home, be quarantined, and yes, it is life or death at this point, and that's why we're doing it. But think about so many different situations that people go through or that you've gone through where your mental health just took a down point and it was just, you were just completely negative about yourself or the situation, and you weren't able to be stern with yourself to get out of that situation. And I've talked a lot in my videos about training your mind. We're training our mind to tell ourselves to stay home, or else we will get sick, or people that we love will get sick, or we'll spread the virus if we do have it and we don't show symptoms right away, right? You're telling your mind that. So that's mind over matter. Think about it in ways of self-love and self-awareness and being confident. Mind over matter. So if you have the power to tell yourself and train yourself, I need to stay quarantined, I need to stay home, I need to be productive in some other way besides going out and not see friends and etc. Think about it with your mind in situations when it comes to self-love. You have the ability to be stern with yourself in this situation. So have the ability to be stern with yourself in the situation where you need to be more confident and you need to have faith in yourself and you need to not be down on yourself and kick yourself while you're down. Because when certain situations come about in our life, our mental health is in jeopardy. We are automatically down on ourselves, we're negative towards ourselves. So if you can be stern with yourself in this situation and keep some type of hope in your heart, you can do it with your own self. You can do it with being able to get yourself uplifted in any other situation that you come across in life. And I hope with what I'm saying makes sense. It's just there's so many different times in life where we get dragged down and brought down by people or situations, and we are in a sad situation, but you know, being able to see people get uplifted by making TikTok videos or making YouTube videos or doing something that they haven't done in a while, or something that they've wanted to do for a very long time. Those are the exact things that we have to do with ourselves to get out of situations when it's not virus time. You know, once this all passes and situations are brought into our life where we feel like we're being torn apart by people, we need to be able to uplift ourselves. We need to be able to come out on top when we feel like we're at the bottom. And it's all about being stern with yourself and telling yourself, okay, I need to get out of this funk, because it does affect your confidence and it does affect your awareness. Anything that you put your mind to, you can do it. Mind over matter. Your mind is such a powerful tool, so I hope each and every one of you guys uses it for the better sake of yourselves. And I hope that this virus has taught you guys to not take this time for granted, not to take your health for granted. And if you're healthy right now, please count your blessings. I hope that you guys can wake up every single day and be grateful for at least one thing. You know, really take this time to reflect upon who you are as a person and how you can make yourself a better individual. I hope each of you stays healthy and well, and at this point in time, please be kind to one another. You have no idea what someone else is going through. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And as always, you guys, stay empowered.